Hi, my name's Ed, and along with this band, Blues and Roots Ensemble, we're going to be learning some of the music of Charles Mingus. Charles Mingus was a double bass player, composer, and activist who wrote music in the 1940s to 1960s. As well as writing fantastic compositions, Charles Mingus's music was also important for the wider social context of what was going on in America at the time. And we're going to be looking at a little bit of that as well as his compositions.
Hi, my name's Dave. The style of music we're studying and playing together is called jazz music. Now, does anyone know what country jazz music comes from? Teacher, if you could stop the video now. Did anyone get that? It's the United States of America. Yes, the USA is where jazz develops, and it came from one town in particular, a very special town in the south of America called New Orleans. New Orleans, they would say there. It was special because it's very hot, it's in the south, and it's a port. So because it's a port, lots of people came in from different parts of the world to work there. People came from all over Europe, Africa, all over other parts of America, South America. And one of the things they brought with them to remind themselves of home was their music. So if you walked down the street in New Orleans in about 1890, you could hear many different kinds of music. You'd hear Spanish guitar coming from over there. You'd hear French piano music coming from over there. You might hear African drums in the square over there. And you might hear a marching band, and even see a marching band coming past you, playing trombones and trumpets and clarinets, playing a march on the street, marching through the street. Those musicians all played their different styles of music together. And eventually, that developed into what we call jazz. It took different bits of all those different styles, a bit of Spanish music, a bit of Cuban music, a bit of African drumming, brass band, and it became known as jazz.
Hi, I'm Flavio. I play drums in the Blues and Roots Ensemble. Most of the music we hear today is based on straight 8 notes, and it sounds a bit like this. And that's great, but the music we're going to play today is based on a different feel. Jazz has a slightly different feel that we call swing. And the way I like to describe it is using this little catch sentence, and it goes like this. You walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog. And I play that on this beautiful cymbal here called the right cymbal. So I'm going to play it to you. It sounds like this. You walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog. And in essence, that gives you already the swing feel. So if you can sing, you walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog, to any song, and it fits rhythmically, you know that that music is swinging.
Hi everyone, I'm Pete. I play the piano in the band. And we know that music involves our heart and our soul, but it also, of course, involves our whole body. So we need to warm up our whole body before we start doing anything. So can you copy me, please? Now I'm told when you do this, it sends energy to the part of the brain that deals with creativity. This music, jazz music, is all about creativity. Keep copying me. As soon as I change, you change. See if you can keep up. And then I'm going to do a clap, and I want you to do a clap at exactly the same time as me. Not before, not after, but right on it. Here it comes. Be ready. It's going to come again. Watch out. Some of you might be a little bit before or behind the beat. I want you to be right on it. Here it comes. Now, for the next thing I want to do is I'm going to teach you 2 little rhythmic patterns, and I want you to clap or play them back with your body. The first one is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want you to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, off, and you're going to go off. Now it's that offbeat that we're really interested in, because that's where it starts to get syncopated. So I want you to think of yourself underlining that offbeat. It's a really important beat. So we're going to start off with our rhythm section, playing us a nice blues. 1, 2, 3, 4. While this is going on, be ready. We're going to start with our 4 beats first. You do those 4 beats back, and then we've got our beat that goes on and our beat that goes off. So I think we're going to start the first thing on our hands. And then we might move to our chest and our knees. You keep your eyes up. Here's our first one on our hands. I'll go first. Clap this back. I go. 1, 2, I might go. Perfect. And now what we might do is you could ask people in your class to lead that thing, and you can be more imaginative. You could mix it all up. So I might do a mixture of things on my knees, clicks, claps, and you get a person in your class to lead it, and you all do it back. Let's do a few more just so we get that sense of mixing it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now it's your turn. Choose 4 or 5 people in your class who are going to lead it, and the rest of you will do the response. I'll do the first one just to remind ourselves of the rhythm, and then I'll hand over to you and I'll start playing the piano. Here's the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's someone else. Excellent. Really well done. People from all around the world found different ways of dealing with sadness. Some people have turned sadness into paintings, into stories, into sculptures, into movies, into poetry. In America, at the end of the 1800s, people found a way of dealing with the horrors of the transatlantic slave trade by a type of music called blues. And the funny thing about blues is it's not a sort of hopeless, bleak sadness. It's not like a sort of dirge. It's not the kind of music that would go. The thing about blues is it's kind of got this element of hope that's not naive, that feels like things are going to turn right without being naive. And I always think of it, it's like having an inoculation. An inoculation is if you're trying to avoid a disease, that you give yourself a small shot of the thing that might make you ill. And because it's in such a small quantity, your body learns how to deal with it. And it's in its own time and in its own way. And that's what gives you a boost. So with blues music, you have these kind of notes that are going to sound bluesy. So you don't have the third that goes 1, 2, 3. You flatten the third, so it goes 1, 2. And that sound is really at the heart of the blues. The other one is the seventh. So instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you flatten it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that flat third and the flat seventh are really at the heart of this music. There's the seventh. There's the minor third. But also there's this happiness that comes. So it's a pulling and a stretching of sadness and happiness. And the blues is how we deal with sadness.
Hello! So we're going to talk a little bit about vocal technique and healthy voice practice. So if you're not already, stand up with me. Now my knees are really bent and loose. And look at my arms. Pretend your arms are like ropes that are just dangling from your shoulders. And speaking about shoulders, let's give them a roll, shall we? Let's have our bodies be really free and relaxed. And while we're at that, let's add our lips into this because our lips are really important for forming words. Can you make that sound with me? Oh, I'm feeling really relaxed. Now, when we breathe, We don't breathe with our shoulders up around our ears, do we? Because my voice is all tight and... We need loose, free bodies for a loose, free voice. So can you breathe down here? Let's all put our hands on our bellies and let's do a big breath down here with loose knees, loose, relaxed shoulders. Are you ready? Breathe with me. Now I feel ready to sing. Do you feel ready to sing?
Hi, my name is Emma, and along with the rest of the band, I will be teaching you the melody to the first tune that you heard called Oh Lord. I'm going to be playing the melody phrase by phrase, and Tara, along with you guys in your classroom, will be singing the phrase after I play it, so there'll be plenty of time for you to pick it up.
We'll be using the syllables ba, da, so it's super easy, you'll be able to catch on straight away.
Nice one. So now that you've heard all of the melody in little bits, we're going to have a go at playing it the whole way through with the whole band. 1, 2, 3. We're going to talk a little bit about the idea of improvising over this tune. Now, one great trick is that you know that every single melody note in that tune is going to sound good when you're improvising, so making up your own solo as you go along. So we're going to try now doing some call and response phrases where I improvise a few phrases just using the notes from the melody, and Tara sings them back. And it can give you an idea about how you can get started making up your own solos. We're going to do it over the form. 1, 2, 3, 4. now you've heard me have a go at improvising on that tune. Improvising means coming up with your own solo or kind of composing your own melodies in real time. And we've learnt that it's really easy to start off just using melody notes. Now, lucky for you, we've got a recording of 2 whole choruses of a blues for you to practice your own improvisations on.
1, 2, 3. Great, so that was a run through of Oh Lord with the Blues and Roots horn section playing some backings. Hopefully by now you're accomplished at singing the melody to Oh Lord. You can hear what a swing feels like. You're maybe got some ideas about improvising, making up your own music and your own melodies over the top of the tune of Oh Lord. And you understand a bit more about the blues and where it came from. Next week we're going to be looking at our second Charles Mingus composition, Fables of Phoebus.